Hello, and we're going to talk today about this, Google Stadia. Okay, this is the Founders Edition pack, and that's the controller. It's navy blue for the founders. We also get inside the box a Chromecast Ultra and two chargers. The Chromecast charger's got the Ethernet jack so that you can plug directly into your wired LAN system. I'm sure that everybody who's watching this already knows a little bit about Stadia already, so I'm not going to bore you with details about what you get in the box, why you want to be a founder. I'm sure that most people understand all of those things. What I'm going to talk about today is the actual experience of owning Stadia, paying for it with your own money, not given it for free or having a sponsor, but actually paying for this with my own money, experiencing day one, and why I'm going to be returning this to Google, which I've already set up and will be doing in the morning. So firstly, the equipment. The controller, I really love these shoulder buttons on this controller. Fantastic. I love the colour scheme, I love the navy blue, and the controller, I think it's actually better than an Xbox One controller. It fits my hands better than anything else I've ever used. So if I compare it to this controller, the Xbox One, when I've got the Xbox One controller, I find that it's a little bit narrow at the top for me, whereas when I look at the Stadia controller, it fits my hands far superior in every way. It's perfect for me, and I'm a normal size 5'10" kind of guy, and control's fantastic. The price of the controller at £60 UK, I think is right on the money. It's the kind of money that you'd be paying for an Xbox or a PlayStation controller. That's a genuine item, and it's the same kind of price that you pay for a Steam controller or any kind of premium controller. The Nvidia one, for instance, again. So yeah, I like this, and I think it's worth the money that they charge for it. The problem with it can't be used for anything but Stadia, because it's a Wi-Fi controller, not a Bluetooth controller such as an Xbox pad or a Sony pad. Unfortunately, you can only use this for Stadia, so you can't use the controller for anything else, no other gaming whatsoever. Okay, so that's the controller covered, and it's very nice. Next, let's talk about what you get for the Founders Edition. So Founders Edition costs £120 UK. You get included, you get the Stadia controller, you get this Chromecast Ultra, all the correct cables except for an Ethernet cable which it recommends you to use but is not supplied. And then you get 3 months of the premium pass and 3 months for a buddy, which is the buddy pass. Fantastic. So obviously, being a founder, I pre-ordered, paid for it up front, everything else. And when I ordered it, I got an email from Google saying, sit tight, we'll email you when Stadia's coming to you and everything's going to be great, And I thought, right, fantastic. Last week when it launched, on launch day, I still had 0 emails from Google regarding it. I hadn't been told that it was going to be late. I hadn't been told that I could use it in the meantime using other equipment, so I use it in a web browser or whatever. I got no code to start it up. I got no buddy code. I've had absolutely nothing. So on the day of launch, I called Google, sat on hold for about 2 hours, and got through to someone and asked to cancel, because I feel as though, as a consumer, I entered into an agreement with Google, and the agreement was that I would pay this money and I would be supplied this equipment and this membership, and I would have it on this particular date. I didn't have it on the date, I didn't have the membership by the date, I had not even had any correspondence by the date. So on those grounds I asked for a cancellation and a refund. The person on the other end of the phone was nice enough, but they explained that there was no way that they could actually give me a refund because the order had gone through for processing and the equipment was out for delivery. And that if I needed to cancel it, the way to do it would be to refuse the delivery, which is great to say in theory. However, I'm at work through the day, so any deliveries that come to my home, my neighbour kindly picks up for me, and they're not going to sort through good and bad ones. They don't know the difference. It's an elderly person, and it's a bit unfair to ask them to even do so. I'm grateful that they even do that for me in the first place. So the item arrived 2 days late. In the box came no equipment, only just the equipment that you've seen there, so the controller, the Chromecast Ultra, and a little bit of bump about it, but I had no link or any kind of a web address to go and claim my Founders Edition pack. I still had no emails from Google regarding that. I'd still had no buddy pass. I'd had nothing, no correspondence at all, other than me calling them on the day of launch. So then, my phone's up on the day I received it. I spent 5 hours waiting for a call back. It called me back at just short of midnight, and I was given my email with my code to get into the Stadia. So I quickly went in, made sure it was working, went to bed for the day. Fast forward then to Friday last week. Got home from work quite early, around 4 PM, and the first thing that I went and did was fire Stadia up, go through everything, get the Google Home app, set up the Chromecast Ultra, set the controller up on the Wi-Fi, and log in, do everything that I needed to do. Claim the 2 games that seem to come with the guest pass, and had a quick play. Then I had to get ready because I was going out. So that's fair enough. About 6 o'clock I got ready. One of my friends come to pick me up at 7:30. When he came in, I offered him a quick go on Stadia to check it out. He had a quick go, and on Destiny 2 we were kicked off from being online and we couldn't re-log back on. It said that the servers were full, which, to say that I'm a Founders Edition member and it's just come out, seems a little bit poor. Anyway, we went out and I thought no more about it at the time. So then, yes, on Saturday, the first thing that I've been and done is got up in the morning, had to play around with Stadia, a proper first go, a few hours. So I played a little bit of the Samurai game from SNK that comes with it as part of the Founders Edition bundle. And to be honest, I've been really unimpressed by that game. It's cartoony, it doesn't show off any of the Stadia capabilities in terms of the graphics. It's not a particularly good game, and it's a button basher, and not a particularly good one. Or that was my experience of it. So the second game that comes with it is Destiny 2, and yes, it comes with the Stadia pack, but if you're a member on Steam or on Bethesda, you can get that game for free anyway. It's a free to play game, so there's nothing being gained from being a Stadia member for that game. And Destiny 2, as nice as it is, there's a lot of reviews out there, it's a nice looking game and everything, wasn't bowled over with it on Stadia. I've got 70 meg connection to the internet and low ping, no problems whatsoever, twice the requirements of what Stadia requires, and I feel as though I was watching upscale 1080p rather than 4K. I don't feel as though I was getting the 4K experience in any way, shape or form. It didn't even look as good as what my PC does at 1440p. I don't think I was getting 4K, or if I was, it was upscale 1080p, it was poor. And when I go through that experience and then I start looking at how much I've paid and what I've received and the fashion that it was received in, I've come to the conclusion that the thing for me to do would be to return it and to get my money back. I don't feel as though I've got out of it what I've put in. So, starting from the beginning again, controller is fantastic. I think it's easily worth £55–60 that they charge for it. Brilliant. Except for it's not Bluetooth, which it should be. You should be able to use the controller as a PC controller or as an Android controller, Bluetooth for your phone or a tablet or something like that. You should be able to use it for whatever you want because it's a Google controller. Much like an Xbox controller is actually a Microsoft controller and can be used on PC or Xbox, Xbox One, the SX, so on. That, you know, all the pads are interchangeable because it's a Microsoft pad, and I think that that's a really key thing that Google's missed. The other thing that I feel that they've missed is the gaming market, the gaming world is a ruthless business. You know, you need to be on top of your game to be the top player, and I feel as though Google are the only or one of a couple of companies that could actually pull off what they've done, and the service is good. You know, I would say it's comparable to, you know, a PS4 Pro kind of thing, but when they're advertising 4K 60, being as good as a PS4 Pro is not good enough. It should be better than that because PS4 Pro is not a 4K 60 machine. So I feel like down there. I also feel as though there's a lot of bugs, you know, like a lot of the functionality with the system's not there. The Chromecast Ultra, they want £55 for that outside of the Stadia package. So if you add £60 for the controller and £55 for the Chromecast Ultra, that's £115. The Chromecast Ultra isn't worth £55. A standard Chromecast costs $20 from Google themselves, including delivery. I think the Chromecast Ultra is worth $30, possibly $35 at a push, and it's worth no more. So with that in mind, I value that at £95, $35 for a Chromecast Ultra and £60 for a controller. So do I feel then that 3-month Stadia Pass is worth the difference, which would be £25? And honestly no, is the answer. 2 games is not enough. It's not even close to being enough. The 2 games that are there and they don't show off what Stadia can do. One of them is a free-to-play game on Steam or on Bethesda. It's free to play on PC. There is no requirement to purchase anything. You don't need a pass, you don't need anything, you can play it free. So realistically that means that there's only this one SNK game that's actually bundled for part of it, and it's just not enough. It should be at least a dozen. On launch day, Google have really missed the mark there. They should have been coming out with a lot of games straight away so people have got choice, because choice really matters. They should also, the price is right, what they're charging per month, but they're just not including enough. There needs to be more, and they should have made more effort to have it out on launch day. The other thing is that they should have had everybody's equipment in their hands on launch day so there was no complaints. Even if the equipment was going to be late, which I find absolutely ridiculous from a company like Google. I mean, they can count the numbers of how many they're selling, they know how many pieces of equipment they need, and most of them are pre-orders. Founders Edition, I believe they stopped taking orders a few weeks before, so they knew how many they needed and where they needed to be and for what date, and they still missed it. That's a massive thing. And the other thing is, like I said, it's the games. 2 games and one of them's free to play anyway, so 1 game is what the pack comes with, and it's not enough. The other games, I was looking at Red Dead Redemption, it's reduced on a lot of sites at the moment. You can buy it on places like CD Keys for a little bit less than what the retail is. There's no discount whatsoever on Stadia. The discounts that are on Stadia, I feel as though are only loosely equivalent to the kind of discounts you get on any game once they've been out a while. I don't feel as though it's enough. Those games should have been at least available to play for a certain amount of time with the pass, and that's where Google's missed. They've missed with the deliveries, they've missed with the impact of everything being perfect on day one. The service isn't quite there. The server obviously keeps breaking down on Destiny because most people are playing it, and the main thing is I actually believe I paid too much for it. I got 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for PC the other day for £1. That's 3 months subscription to all their games that are on Game Pass for a single £1. And I think that Stadia is worth £9 a month for 4K 60, but I would need to actually receive 4K 60 to be able to say I'm getting a good service. The games that are available are too expensive. Can find better alternatives such as discounts on Steam keys or Origin keys or Epic Games keys or whatever else, and there isn't enough choice. It's an excellent platform and it's really going to go a long way, but in the future, right this moment in time, it's not ready. They should have waited, and I really do think it's the future. Google and Microsoft have got a massively bright future with game streaming. It's going to happen. This is the way forward. This is the future of gaming. But the service right now is subpar at the best. And for me, I can't justify the money I spent for the service I've received and all the other things that I've had to go through. For that reason, I will be returning it. So thank you, and I hope it's been a big help to you. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.